Hey you guys, I thought we could read some of the comments from Foodie Beauty's burrito bowl mukbang. So it started out, I just came here curious because we haven't seen or heard from Foodie Beauty since the beach. So I was like, I'll check out the comments, see if she's replying. She was definitely replying earlier today, like as of 10 hours ago. So hopefully she's okay. I truly think she just knows what she's doing and she knows how to pull in those views. You know, she looked like crap during the beach vlog. We saw it. We heard her breathing. She knows she looked bad. So, let's make everybody worry. Or, to be honest, it could have taken a lot out of her. She was wearing so much cloth, so many clothes in the heat. You know, she was sitting most of the time. It could have taken a lot out of her. I hope she's okay. I think what people don't realize is none of us over here like want something horrible bad to happen to her. We don't want that. Most of us are just in recovery of some sort or in some way. And we know if she doesn't change, something bad is going to happen. That's just how it goes. Foodie Beauty isn't special. She's not the one person who gets to do it all and live how she wants and eat how she wants, and she's not the one person who isn't going to have consequences. They're coming. And if I were her, I'd be absolutely terrified. I don't know how she isn't. All right, let's get to some of these comments. So we're going to go through top comments. Usually we do newest first, but we're doing top. So Marion said, please stop saying that you have an illness when you have not been told by a doctor. I'm going to like that. So remember the notes she showed us from the doctors? It was what they had discussed, not a diagnosis. And she's all in the replies here. She says, yes, I have. Chelsea said, Marion and 22 others can't read. No, because we can read, we know that it's the issues that were talked about. There was no proper diagnosis. A Foodie Beauty, some kind of an account, but it's not Foodie Beauty, said, if you have an illness, then get it treated. You can't treat yourself or use willpower for addiction. Well said. You've been doing the same thing for 30 years. Doesn't it get exhausting trying to fight this alone? You will get help when you're ready. Ooh, I'm going to thumbnail woohoo. That comment hopefully will be in our thumbnail. Piss and Vinegar said at Foodie Beauty Health Prevention. Okay, that was the account name. Just because you lack willpower doesn't mean that everyone else does too. Don't tell people what they can and cannot achieve on their own. The nerve of you. Your statement is complete BS. Is it though? She has been trying the same thing for 30 years. And she's not getting different results. She's trying every single diet. We've seen her try every single diet. We've seen her restrict, not restrict, intuitive eat. We've seen a water diet, and she fails at all those miserably. It's not just one person in addiction lacks willpower. It's a typical thing, and Foodie Beauty lacks it. And she's not going to find the tools to deal with it unless she goes and gets professional help. Zibble said at Piss and Vinegar, found the feeder. Cherry Ripe said at Piss and Vinegar, I get all the defensive replies to some of the comments, but you've watched her long enough to know that she's been battling over eating ED for decades. Her own words. Clearly her willpower isn't enough. Well said. That's not being rude or shaming. It's just an uncomfortable fact. Knowing her underlying health issues, as she has spoken about often, if she were your daughter, sister, or wife, would you really be okay with this? Best regards. That is such a good comment. We are liking it. It's a good way to think of it. If it was your sister, your niece, your cousin, best friend, anything, would you be okay with the way she's acting online? Or would you love her enough to say something? Okay, Piss and Vinegar wrote a novel. What I resent is being told that you can't achieve success on your own, that willpower doesn't conquer, because it does, and it will, when practiced. Okay, when practiced, but she's not practicing. When you apply yourself and put forth real effort, you'll become successful in whatever it is that you're doing. To be honest, I've never seen Chantal honestly and wholeheartedly apply herself to diet/weight loss lifestyle. Have you? She has no idea what she's capable of accomplishing until she does the work. So for somebody to tell her you can't do it alone, willpower won't work, you need inpatient, blah, 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 I simply don't agree. Mind over matter. She needs inpatient. Just FYI. There's no way of getting around it. She needs professional help, and she needs to go somewhere to a facility for a certain amount of time. Okay, so Cherry Ripe replied to them, fundamentally, I agree with you for the most part. A problem a lot of people have is she uses her mental health when it's convenient, and when asked by people to go get it properly, fully diagnosed, and follow through with treatment, she comes up with a bunch of excuses, etc. But you could argue her choices, her consequences. That said, she has a huge platform. A lot of people watch/follow her. They're bound to have opinions, and a lot truly feel very troubled by the fact that both her and Salah are monetizing her issues. Her argument, well, everyone has to eat, is like an alcoholic saying everyone has to drink. Both statements are true, but we all know some foods and drinks are better than others. Best regards. Well said. Well, that was an interesting thread. Psyched for Life said those full body shots of you on the beach were shocking. This has to be your rock bottom. I'm going to like this comment. It won't be, though. Shanazig said, why are you so freaking mean? Are you just very unhappy with yourself? Do something constructive, like playing in the traffic. Wow. That sounded like a Foodie Beauty sock account. Joined 6 years ago. They have another comment telling her the green and the last shirt looks great on you. Okay, if you're telling her those shirts look great on her, you have to be a sock. Either Ben to the True said, it's not. There is no bottom, and Chantel is truly talented in finding new lows. She is our queen. Everyone has a rock bottom. I think she's had several. I think her final and last rock bottom, that's going to be the wake-up call and everything, it's going to be brutal. I think she's had several wake-up calls, and she just doesn't listen. Charles Reed, which is Foodie Beauty sock account, just FYI, how is being happily married, finding salvation in a new faith in God, and running a successful business rock bottom? You sound jealous. And you sound like a Foodie sock account. Tattooed Witch said, you can't tell someone when they hit rock bottom. She was actually a lot bigger. No, if you guys go look at my community post, I've been doing comparisons. I also did a video on it. Go check that out. She's bigger than she's ever been. She's the biggest I think I've seen her. If you look at photos from before when she was claiming she was 365, she looks much smaller. Charles Reed replied at Tattooed Witch, weight doesn't determine someone's worth. Naomi Murphy said, definitely shocking. And then laughing emojis. Tattooed Witch said at Charles Reed, are you? Okay, well, I'm not going to read that. I personally wouldn't have said that. All right, so they're fighting back and forth. Charles Reed said, hitting rock bottom is a determination of her worth. No, it's a determination of how she's going to save her life, or hopefully save her life. So Tattooed Witch said at Charles Reed, rock bottom, adjective, add to word list at the lowest possible level or in the worst situation. It has nothing to do with someone's worth. We can all hit our rock bottom, which looks different for everybody. And then Hope Pusher asked, does that make you feel better about yourself? And then Charles Reed replied at Hope Pusher, not necessarily. User IW1 said, Chantel, my God, seeing your full body in your most recent lives is absolutely mind-blowing. How much do you actually weigh now? This has to be the heaviest you've ever been. You must be so uncomfortable every waking moment. How can you not even make the smallest change to get your health on track? I'm going to like that comment. Let's look at the replies. Oh, Charles Reed. This is an eating show. You need to leave your white coat at the door, doctor. Plus, her health is fine. The abayas aren't very thinning, plus camera adds 10 pounds. Oh, gosh. The delusion. User IW said at Charles Reed, she can't leave her apartment and walk for 5 minutes without getting dizzy. That's fine to you? You want to enable her to death? Kinda creepy. Sleepy Panda said at Charles Reed, oh my gosh, that is a good one, thank you. No, I haven't gained weight, it's the camera. Lizzie said at Charles Reed, okay, Chantel. Emerald Venus said, I'm much older than you, and I'm not saying this to be mean. only to warn you about what you may be facing as you get older. I have essential hypertension and had it for many years. I have to seriously watch my sodium intake and also no sugars due to having endometrial cancer. I'm on several prescription drugs for hypertension, and it's no joke. There are side effects to most or all of these drugs. It's like playing Russian roulette. You are fortunate in that you have more time to change your life for the better. I hope you do sooner than later because we can't know what tomorrow will bring. Enjoy life, but remember that everything has a positive and negative, and they need to be balanced. I'm going to like this comment. Emerald Venus sounds very concerned. It sounds like a very genuine, concerned comment. They seem to really care. I hope she reads this. Let's look at the replies. Lilo2468 said, she already has hypertension along with an enlarged heart, diabetes, and NASH, all which have gone untreated for years. She also has sleep apnea, asthma, and has a hard time walking 10 feet without being winded. Not to mention her failing to take the replacement estrogen she needs. She is prone to pulmonary emboli, having already had 2 blood clots in her lungs. Her heart and body are under extreme stress every single minute of every day. Sorry to say, but she doesn't have much time left at all if she doesn't make a drastic change now. I agree, it's a sad reality. It's a sad reality. Oh, Foodie Beauty / Charles Reed said, you aren't a doctor, remember that. Your health issues are your own fault. Don't project it onto her while she is living life with her husband. Charles Reed also said at Lilo, you aren't a doctor, so everyone please feel free to ignore this person's medical diagnosis. Emerald Venus replied to Foodie / Charles, it doesn't take a doctor to know that hypertension can disable or even kill. It doesn't take a doctor to know who may be at risk for certain diseases like hypertension, diabetes, or some types of cancer. Hypertension is a condition that millions suffer with and people die from it every year. Considering her weight and eating habits, it makes sense for her to take heed. If she already has high blood pressure, then that's even more of a red flag. Of course, everyone's health is their particular concern. As for being my fault, I have always maintained my weight, and my doctor has told me that my condition is genetic. You probably won't even watch this video, but this isn't your fault. Don't listen to Foodie Beauty, please. They continue, there are some things that I was responsible for that made my blood pressure go up at times, such as stress and too much sodium. I've long been on a low sodium diet. Stress is a bit harder, but I've been doing a lot better. Blood pressure can increase as we get older too. Exercise is also important to keep blood pressure at a healthier level. But for those like me where hypertension began earlier in life, prescription drugs are necessary. Hida says at Emerald Venus, this person is not worth debating with. I agree. He/she will defend Chantal anyway and will attack anyone who doesn't get excited about his or her idol, who won't be an enabler, anyone who gives well-intentioned advice or suggestion. I wish you to stay healthy as long as possible so that you can enjoy life. That was well said, beautifully said. I'm also wishing them nothing but good things coming their way. Just a heads up, that Charles Reed account just the other day was trying to tell me that my back problem and my spinal fusion is a direct result on reacting to Chantal. So whoever it is, whether they're really a Chantal sock account, I think it is, or a Foodie Beauty VIB, like they're not well and they really aren't worth debating with at all. Emerald Venus says it, Hida, thank you for your kindness and concern. Perhaps it's really Chantal in disguise. That's what I'm guessing, Emerald. Don't listen to them. No matter, I meant well and hope that someday her health improves, but that's up to her. Yes, it is. Foodie / Charles says, I am not Chantal, but I love her to death. She's our goddess and queen. Oh, gag me with a spoon, my goodness. Okay, let's see. Foodie Beauty Health Prevention said at Salah, if Chantal can't walk certain places in fear of falling like a slippery hill, why aren't you helping her? You walking away from her, leaving her behind while you film on her phone is messed up. It's because he doesn't care about her. I liked that comment. Loa follower said he should be making her walk. She desperately needs exercise. He probably wouldn't be strong enough to help her up alone anyway. She's done this to herself. True, but he can at least act like he cares if he's going to take her money, you know? Like, he can at least act. User I said bedbound Beezer. Let's see. Foodie Beauty Health Prevention also asked, why didn't you bring your subscribers live shopping at Sephora? You asked people for personal care advice, and this could have been a chance for interactive, interesting content. Naomi said, maybe because she didn't want to. Piss and Vinegar said, I could care less about Sephora. Okay. Let's scroll up. Okay, I'm going to look for the comments where Foodie Beauty specifically replies, so I'll meet you there. Healing Frequencies asked, have you taken a good long look at yourself? Those side-on profiles are shocking. If Salah truly cared for you, he would get you help. I agree. I don't think she sees the same thing as we see when she looks in a mirror, whenever she looks at one, if she ever looks at one. For some reason, she doesn't comprehend how she looks or how bad her situation has gotten. Foodie replies, have you looked at yourself fat-shaming someone? Hailing Frequencies replied at Foodie Beauty, I have. I've been there and I didn't like how I looked or felt, so I did something about it. And I wish that someone had given me a shake long before that. Ooh, I'm liking that comment. And then Hailing says, and here's the kicker, only you can do something about it. Sitting on the floor, stuffing your grid with food at any given opportunity ain't the way. No, it's not. I agree. She's, like I said, she's delusional. She doesn't realize how bad her situation is, and she doesn't take it seriously because it's not an addiction to drugs or alcohol. April said, you're so thirsty because you have uncontrolled diabetes. Foodie replies, oh, are you a doctor? HH said, it's getting dire, Chantal. To close this video, we're going to read this comment by Cherry Ripe. Cherry said, this seems so unsettling. You continue to justify eating on camera to feed your addictions, food, attention, and money. You have been told by HP not to do this, but you continue to dismiss their guidance. It's a choice. So that aside, I guess the bigger question is why Salah, who you have said very clearly supports you both extremely well, is now also okay with gaining financially from your disorder when apparently he doesn't need to? Everything you do on social media also tells the world about Salah. So true. He doesn't care for her. From everything we've seen since she's moved there and they've been together, she's declining rapidly. And he just smiles and giggles and IFs himself for the camera. He either doesn't care, he's a feeder, or I don't know, but I know enough about him now to know I don't like him and I don't think he's a good person. Naomi said, and you continue to watch her. Worry about yourself. Cherry Ripe says at Naomi, not sure why this snippy comment from you, but firstly, she chooses to put her life on social media for attention and money, which is achieved through views and comments, right? Secondly, and more importantly to your other remark, maybe if there was someone, anyone that genuinely worried / cared enough about her, they would want to help her instead of enabling her, as she clearly is unable or unwilling to help herself. But of course, people choose to interpret any tough questions or observations as hate. This is why, is Naomi a sock too? Let's check. Let's just join 9 years ago. Anybody who truly cares or is genuinely concerned has expressed what she's doing is very, very dangerous. I'm wondering why her family isn't stepping in. It's wild to me, you guys. If you're not kissing Chantal's butt and tell her that the food looks good and she's doing amazing and to keep eating, then you're a hater. Mick Mandy says at Naomi, dude, it's true that people tend to be extremely rude to her, but have you seen her full body in the most recent live? It's alarming, and anyone who sincerely cares for her should be concerned. I'm going to like that comment, and well said. I have a very bad feeling about Foodie. Do I think something happened to her right now? No. No. It's concerning she's been so quiet, but I also think she knows what she's doing. Her body cannot take what she's doing to it. Nobody's body can. The human body is amazing and resilient and can recover from so much, but it can only take so much and can only take so long of being abused before you start having really bad consequences. I should know. I put my body through it. It's amazing. It's amazing I didn't have so many problems until the later part of my drinking. I abused my body so much I ended up having seizures, strokes, ended up in the ER. It was a mess. I abused my body with alcohol. Now, alcohol is very different from food, but an addiction is an addiction is an addiction. And if you keep abusing something, the consequences are coming, you know? Let's talk about this in the comment section. I hope you are having a great day, great evening, wherever you are. And I will see you so soon. Oh, hold on. Before we end, I'm going to include this screenshot if I still have it. Amberlyn Reed has apparently already given up Weight Watchers. Like, these two, you would think they would know their way. You think they would realize their way is not working. They are both failing miserably at every single diet they attempt. It's going to take something drastic and eye-opening and a huge wake-up call from either of these two to want to change their ways and realize they aren't going to be able to win in this alone. They're not going to be able to conquer their demons alone, conquer this addiction alone, and it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, hey, I've tried and I'm failing. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Can you help me? It's okay to ask for help. All right, you guys, have a great day, great evening, wherever you are, and I will see you so soon. Bye.